My wife don't even
So
believe
cool.
me.
We are live. I'm gonna get you guys the link so you can share it.
Yeah, send me the link so I can shill some.
BitConnect.
Cool. There you go.
Post it on my. Wait, why is this link
X.
not?
All right, great.
1 second. Let me tweet this
Yeah.
shit. I'll shill on my IG too.
Oh, you have an Instagram? I used to follow you on Instagram. I just don't look at it.
It's,
It's mostly this reminds me of the food I can't afford.
I can't afford it either anymore. Okay. Ah, fuck! I deleted the link. Oh my god, I'm retarded. God. Dude,
Cannot use
I
computers.
legitimately, I legitimately do not know how to use computers, which is
I know that you don't. I know you. I don't. You don't know how to use phones either.
for someone that's like on their computer like 20 hours a
Yeah.
day. I
Yeah.
definitely don't know how to use them. All right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, I mean, this is a special episode of the return of JMO. I guess we should call it that. I should have called it that actually. Um, but if people watched last year, they would have seen that we did some 2025 predictions, which we gave on the 30th of December. Where Jamie, I know you were a bit busy, so we didn't have a chance to do it on the 30th this year, but we can get stuck into those in a bit. Um, and also, but I think first off, we should review last year's predictions and basically make fun of each other for getting them right or wrong. So I guess I guess we can talk about Bitcoin price first. Um, so
We must have been way off. I mean,
Yeah.
I assume we were just
Absolutely.
bullish and we were like, oh, it's going to the
Yes.
moon. We're gonna be
it,
rich.
it it wasn't too bad. Mine was pretty bad. I said 200K, so I was way
Oh, that was
off.
it.
Um, and I said we'd run up to 125 before inauguration and drop off after that, and then run up again. We didn't run up again. Um, JMO, you said Bitcoin will top out at 150K, so not crazy.
I
Andreas,
was
you took, yeah, go on.
I was close, or I mean, like that was pretty close, right? I mean, if we ignore the number going down from the top, I think we got to like 120, 125, somewhere around there.
Yeah. I think 127 somewhere.
Yeah, not too
Andreas,
bad, not too bad.
you took the slightly lower. Well, I think you came in at 150. You said you'd written it down as 150, but then you said, "Nah, okay, then I'll take 140." So
Oh, okay.
you got
Yeah.
closest. Um,
Shameful.
so yeah, they weren't that terrible. They could have been a lot worse.
I mean, yours was pretty bad.
Yeah, mine was terrible. Yeah. um, so we can get into the specific ones, but maybe let's just open it up with where you guys think it's going this year. We can just start with the predictions.
I'll
Jamie,
open as the winner.
oh yeah,
I'll open
yeah.
because there's a disadvantage to opening. 175.
Ooh.
That's a top.
Oh,
We
top?
may
Are
not
we
stay
talking
there.
top, or are we doing top or end of year price? Maybe we should do
Um,
both. Let's do both. We'll say top, and then we'll say end of year
okay,
price.
well then I'll say top 175, end of year 150.
Okay.
What a boring prediction. Now I'm just
I'm
trying to
gonna
win.
I'm gonna go top 130, and end of year,
Yes.
say like 125.
Wow.
Wow, that's it's gonna be a pretty boring year then. Damn.
Yeah, that's so horrible. That's a
Well, I
like,
was just sticking to my guns and thinking I was a year. I was just early. So I'm still
oh,
sticking to 200K,
yeah.
which I think we'll end up at that because I think we'll be pushing past that. I'm gonna stick to that and keep some hopium in the chat.
I just think in the next year volatility goes down quite a bit. Like there aren't that many. I mean, if you look at like the news cycle, like every time like the market reacts to Fed rate cuts or whatever, the volatility has decreased quite a bit. Where I don't know, I just think as Bitcoin matures as like a legitimate asset, we're not going to see the swings that we used to.
True. Which is tough because I'm used to Bitcoin is the only asset I follow, and shitcoins. So this is the only volatility I'm used to. Like if I were to invest in boomer stocks, like if I wanted to some space stuff, whatever, I would have to go like on quite a bit of leverage to get anywhere near the kind of volatility I'm used to.
Yeah. Well, which is possible now, especially on like perpetuals that are launching like RWAs. Basically, you can leverage trade almost any asset right now on chain, which is really cool.
Okay,
Like
so I don't have to use my dormant Interactive Brokers account.
No, you can
because that's terrible.
there was a guy trading on a perps exchange in Arbitrum called Ostium that was known
Yeah.
for basically doing like $100 million leverage positions or like $100 million notional leverage positions on like longing gold during like the gold run up. So like, I mean, his initial capital is like, maybe like a few million, and he just like levered 100x long gold, which is pretty cool. You can do that on chain now.
Very, very cool. And especially when some of these metals have been trading like shit ones.
Yep.
So I can, okay, so if I buy the big stocks like SpaceX or something, then I can just do that on Hyperliquid.
Yeah, Hyperliquid, I believe has. I don't know about SpaceX. Is SpaceX an actual stock?
I think they're IPOing.
Okay, I mean, like, I don't think you can trade like pre-market stocks, but like anything listed on.
I just assumed they would IPO this year.
Yeah, if that happens, Hyperliquid is definitely going to have like one of the HIP3 markets is definitely going to have like a synthetic version, if not like other perp exchanges.
And they don't pay dividends anyway, so I'll be fine.
Nope, they don't make any money.
All right.
Let's okay. There were some juicy predictions from last year for what 2025 would be. We can okay, here's one from JMO. This was your first prediction. You predicted Berachain would be the biggest launch of 2025 in terms of user adoption, token price, and stuff to do on chain. Discuss.
Honestly, not that far off. I know the honestly not that far off. Like, can you name another chain that has generated more users? I mean, like token price, maybe not. But
Hyperliquid, Plasma, Team Hyperliquid.
I mean, like, okay, so that doesn't Hyperliquid or the Hype EVM doesn't really count because like nothing is actually happening on Hype EVM besides like the original Hyperliquid users. Plasma basically just ran incentives and then people got in and got out. And I can look this up right now. Like, what is the TVL and Berachain?
I think it's like in the 200s. Maybe I'm wrong.
And just to keep it clear, I am a Berachain community member. I have tokens. So I'm not shitting on it.
It topped out at 3.3 billion, and now it's like 200 million. But yeah, I mean that's a pretty big fucking launch to go from nothing to like nearly 3.5 billion. Honestly, like I don't think I was that far off on that one. Like I don't see any other chain that launched like Monad didn't come close to that TVL. I don't know what else like
what is the
stable.
status of Monad?
Monad topped out at like I'm gonna like to say 200 or 250 million TVL in like the first week, where Bear
And
Chain got up to like,
is there any way it will happen?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know.
Do you remember? Do you remember? Not even that long ago, there was a well. I mean, when it launched, there was so much of this Monad Day One stuff, where people were talking about everything that's launching on Monad Day One. Yet there was no one using any of the stuff that launched. So I guess that's the
Yeah, there's apparently like 2,000 different applications on Monad, which like no one actually uses.
yeah.
Do you think is it just because the timing was really unfortunate?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or is it just we
It
don't need
actually looks
anymore?
like maybe I was wrong about Plasma looking at it now. There's quite a bit. Look, if Plasma topped out at like 6 billion, but I don't know how much of that is, you know, like real TVL rather than, you know, just like basically people bridging like USDT over to Aave and grinding out the Plasma incentives to dump the token. I guess you can say the same thing about Barachain, but like at least Barachain feels like it's crypto native, where like but Plasma just seems like a incentivized Fed chain. Like there's no one in their right mind is excited about like Plasma. We can transfer USDT, the layer 0 USDT back and forth. That sounds amazing. And then other than that, look at the metrics right now. Other than that, like not much launch this year. The like Hyperliquid like L1, but that's mostly just like stuff on Hyper on the perp decks. All these have existed before. Monad's at like 280 million TVL. Jeez.
I remember actually.
What about the actual Fed chain? The
Base?
original Fed chain. Yeah.
Oh, have you seen the
Chain de
latest thing that's popping on
Federales.
there? The like the creator coin stuff. I've not been following it. I just keep seeing
Jesus
random
Christ,
posts about it.
that stuff is
It's
so
grim.
ridiculous. Like I can't believe Coinbase like associates themselves with that. Who is like the like Soldier Boy who was like releasing one was like Zora, right? A creator coin, and then like Zach XBT's in there. And it's like, by the way, here's a chart of like the last 47 projects that Soldier Boy has rugged like on Solana, and Jesse's like, welcome to base, Soldier Boy. We're happy to have you. I'm like, what is going on?
I think we can move on to another prediction. I'm pulling these out so we're carrying on with the, you know, it's kind of on a similar train here. So, Andreas, you predicted that meme coins will go the same way as NFTs, and they will not recover, which will mean a shocking reduction in value. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
that worked out.
Yes. I feel like that one was pretty obvious. Like
As a cheap one.
What?
But
wait. The thing was though, we had what meme season in January. We had like the literal Pico top with Trump and Melania, and Melania spelled the end of it. And then you had Libra as well. So there was like the nation state stuff, and that came after these predictions. So it would, you know, if that train kept going, then maybe things will look a bit different. But yeah, it's run out of steam. What else we got? Oh, I predicted Hyperliquid continues to grow. Hype becomes a top 10 token. It did not get anywhere close to being a top 10 as far as I know.
Not that far, and especially if you exclude stable coins. It depends on how you do it. I don't think you were that far off.
Yeah, it's honestly it's like 13 right now. If you exclude like USDC, USDT, it'd be.
But it's very difficult to climb those
11
spots.
Yeah,
I think you have to get past Tron or something.
and even I've played around with the Hyper EVM stuff, and I don't know. There's not much really there. Everything seems to die a slow death.
Yeah, the problem is there's nothing really interesting going on like Hype EVM. Like I remember like saying that, and then I forgot the name of the project. There was one project that was like relatively cool that was basically just selling like options or covered calls like on Hype EVM. But
Mm.
I don't know. Other than that, like everything else is just like basically like a wrapper to like Aave or Morpho or whatever,
Okay.
like lending protocol. People like source liquidity to leverage positions and stuff like that, and then yeah, that's about it. But I honestly like the selling point of Hype EVM is like hyper liquid. The exchange. It's not like like this huge ecosystem where there's a bunch of like people involved and there's a ton of stuff to do. Oh, I was gonna say, like, looking at the market caps now, this is ridiculous to me. Bitcoin Cash is still the 11th largest coin in
Wow.
market cap.
Okay.
Is that just people forgetting to sell?
Well, that shouldn't matter,
How
should it?
so? Oh, I don't know. Is it not?
Well, it's so that meme, if nobody sells, the price can't go down. But as long as there's any trades at all, the price can just continue to decline very quickly. But it just doesn't. I don't actually know.
How's our friend Roger doing? I guess he's doing all right considering Bitcoin Cash is still the 11th largest cryptocurrency.
Yes, I'm sure financially he's doing just fine. And I think he's doing better. I'm not sure what's been reported. I don't want to
Yeah,
say
yeah,
something I'm not
maybe,
supposed to say.
yeah, but he's still safe and free as of today,
Yes.
which is good.
Yeah. Um,
Right. Let's
Yeah.
move. Let me get to another one now. So from JMO, Solana will outperform ETH for a second year in a row. There were negative tailwinds for Solana in 2025 vesting unlocks, but it would still outperform ETH.
How did that go? I don't even know.
Yeah,
Don't know.
let's have a look.
I'm guessing not great, but it's especially I guess like the last
Log
week
chart.
doesn't count.
Wait a second. What I can actually do, so I can share my.
You can look up
my screen.
Solana and you can show it as against ETH on CoinGecko or like TradingView synthetic charts.
All right, let me share this screen. So if we go down here, I guess we can compare it to ETH and pull up a log chart, right?
You know it's bad when you got to bring up the log chart.
But
That's like the oldest thing in Bitcoin. Whenever it goes bad, everybody's like, bro, log chart, log chart.
but yeah, I
What
mean,
are we
they
looking
kind
at?
of,
How to understand this?
my interpretation is that they've kind of tracked very similarly, right?
Yeah,
to read this.
it looks like Ethereum outperformed by the end of the year. Like apparently mid-year, Ethereum was down 25%, and Solana was only down 18% from the January open. But the declines is Ethereum, I guess, had a good second half of the year, while Solana fell off the second half of the year. So yeah, I was incorrect on that. I mean, neither of them performed particularly well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
I
the
was
thing,
incorrect on that.
All right, that's
I think I was hoping more for actual stuff to happen on Solana. Other besides like like the pump fund people just max extracting and dumping Solana or whatever their fees they generate.
okay. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Andreas, you said there will be hundreds of MicroStrategy copycats. Some will try with other assets. We definitely saw quite a lot of. We saw the treasury
Yeah,
company.
absolutely.
100%, dude. Andreas is crushing these
Yeah.
predictions.
Yeah.
That happened 100%. Like the
got some of the
whole
good
DAT thing. Fucking what's his name? Tommy Lee,
Disaster.
like the biggest idiot on earth, like somehow is given like $20 billion to buy Ethereum, and
Incredible.
it's like his DAT is down like $5 billion, yet he still like is on like MSNBC, like Money Channel, talking about his crypto predictions. Like anyone thinks he knows what he's talking about. But yeah, that definitely happened.
From me, I said ETH will drastically underperform this year. I mean, everything drastically underperformed. But if you look at thinking about the end of the year, so wasn't really very concrete there. Oh, okay. From JMO, Athena's fees will be on par with Tether, providing BTC prices hit the targets we spoke about. Where are we at fee-wise for
What did I say? What fees?
Athena?
Oh,
Athena's fees
that's
will be on par with
that like I mean I did preface that by saying like basically like the reason I preface is because like the bull case is Athena takes off on a bull market is because like the funding rates are very favorable for them, so they can scale. I think it definitely came close. Like I don't know what the TVL of Athena is now. It's probably like I don't say like between like 5 and 7 billion is my guess, but it topped up nearly like over 20 billion, right? And
6.48 now, 6.48 billion.
And it topped up like earlier this year when there was like a bull cycle, like I want to say over 20 billion. And then like the Tether market circulating market cap is somewhere around like 180 billion. So that's I mean per dollar, Athena definitely generates more fees or can generate more fees, especially if like the funding rates are like really insane. But yeah, it's just one of those things I think where like if Bitcoin, Ethereum kept running up, then that prediction would have been true. But like in the last half of 2025, we saw like a pretty big bear cycle, and then like the supply shrunk. Like they lost like nearly 70%. Looks like in their TVL, which definitely means that they won't hit those numbers.
Mm.
The other thing I wasn't anticipating was the other thing I wasn't anticipating was like Tether actually innovating quite a bit by like basically like going into USDT 0, right? They're like omni-chain tokens. So like basically anytime there's like a chain that launches, they had their own bridge, like using layer 0 where they can bridge assets over the chains run incentives for that. So like I was thinking like maybe if we actually do go multi-chain, there's no real reason for people to use Tether other than the fact that it's just like trusted and well known. Just because like if you launch a chain and Tether doesn't support that chain, you're basically just like trading like a placeholder token. So like I didn't see why other chains just wouldn't have their own like native stablecoin and then have the Tether model and not pay Tether fees for running a stablecoin. But it seems like Paulo and co are really on top of what they're doing and did really well. So hats off to them.
Right, Andreas, you had a good one here. Justin's son will be safe and thriving. Which
he has never been better. He is thriving.
Yeah,
he's doing so good. Let me check his Twitter. I'm sure he's having best day of his life today.
I've actually forgot to send this to you, but I saw on his social media he had like it's like a Merry Christmas or like a Happy New Year meme where it's just like a photo of him, but he's just like super ripped and like yeah, he's doing good. He's doing good.
He also made his pin post on X is his cover of Forbes from 2025.
Crypto's billionaire Barker. It's a very good photo of him. Yeah, no, he's absolutely thriving. He's posting swole pics of himself.
Andreas, you're 3 for 3 on these.
I had one, just meme coins. We've already covered this, but meme coins and AI coins would drop off, exodus into larger and safer assets, which we've already discussed. But I'm pretty pleased with that one. I mean, I think that was like, yeah, it was pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
Okay. JMO, we've got one of the major lending protocols blows up hundreds of millions of dollar market, mainly because one of the reasons floated was because they're farming crazy DeFi strategies.
That
What is blowing up
definitely
this year?
happened. What's his name? Stream Finance. That
Yeah.
they blew up. I mean, like I don't know the exact number, but it must have been like hundreds of millions because like a lot of the other like I can't think of like RE7 like Hyperrhythm, like all the other vault curators basically were like they were like hypothecating like those assets and stuff like that. So I mean, like I don't think they published a number, but it must have been like hundreds of millions. You know what actually happened there though? Like from what I understand was like the guy 0x Law who was in charge. He just gave like another guy all the money to trade options, and that guy lost all the money on 1010 basically. So he just lost like a couple hundred million on 1010 and was like came back and was like, "Yep, about that money you gave me, it's gone now." And then and then there's like a lawsuit or something. They're trying to seize his like $1 million house in Florida, and the whole thing's a mess. But yeah, that definitely happened. And I think earlier in the year, like another market like almost blew up. Like the usual money market where they changed. I forgot exactly what they did. They changed like the peg or something from like $1 to like 0.87, which
Yeah.
Oh wait, was this on the team Hyperliquid when they put the number on for the stable?
no, it was.
No.
I forgot exactly what happened.
Aster.
This was like a week into the year, like basically that it
Mm.
like basically just like a huge market because like everything was like for some reason like the peg changed and then people like couldn't get out, so like their collateral was worth a lot less because they were like leverage looping the position. So like it basically like I think the strategy was like to take like your USD zero, I think is what it's called, the usual money dollar, borrow an Aave and then buy more USD zero, like using your previous USD zeros collateral and loop that position. And then like because like the way it works is like you can't instantly redeem, so you need to sell based on market price. Like the peg fell off, and then like basically people were like quite under collateralized and liquidated because of that. So I think I got one right at least for the year. It's like 1 of 4, not too bad. 25% hit rate. You should follow me and follow my advice because I'm clearly sharp.
The hot trading tips.
Meanwhile,
The hottest
Andreas, you were 4 for 4 because your final prediction was Russ Ulbricht is freed. So
Yeah.
damn.
Good vibes.
I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that happened this
Yeah.
year. That feels like I feel like he went on like a podcast tour. Right, he was like with Trump. He was taking photos with his mom and stuff like that. It felt like it was so long ago. I can't believe it was this year.
So that wraps up all of our predictions from last year. But I guess now we've got to lock some in for 2026. So
I think I'm gonna go at least 2 for 4 this year. I'm gonna get a nice 50%.
Okay, so are we doing 4 each? Because I wrote down like 15.
Okay. Well,
the price counts as one, right? So maybe like 3 more.
I've got 3 others.
Wow.
But Andreas, if you want to get your hit rate down, you're welcome to submit some more.
It's fine. All of mine are really bearish. I don't know if I want to say these out loud. Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Who starts?
Andreas is our winner. You either can go first or choose someone to go first.
Gemma goes first.
All right. I think lighter the perp decks will outperform hyperliquid this year. They'll gain more users, do more
How?
volume.
Okay.
They'll
Wow.
they'll just be bigger. I think they'll be the market leader by the end of the year. And it's difficult to like we're gonna go back and like I feel like it's gonna be like difficult to judge just because like on paper like apparently Aster is up there as well.
Yeah.
Although like no one I know actually uses Aster, so you know like you take that with a grain of salt. Like there might be other perp dexes that pop up that are like run by centralized exchanges, where like the centralized exchange is just like funneling volume into like a central limit order book that looks like it's a dex experience, but they're just running it, which I think is what's going on with Aster. But for like the two main players in like the quote unquote decentralized space, although I don't think Lighter or Hyperliquid are very decentralized to begin with, but they don't have any affiliation with like a centralized exchange. I think Lighter will do well and outperform Hyperliquid. All right, who's next?
Okay. Should I try lighter? I've never tried it. As like a hyperliquid alternative.
Well, maybe.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
but
it's a little. It's a little. Like, you probably should have tried in the past year, where you could have like farmed out some points or.
No, I didn't mean for the rewards, just like as a replacement for hyperliquid.
Yeah, I think you get the fills you get on hyperliquid are still like a bit better. There's like a bit more open interest. Lighter just to me it feels like a lot more of like a clean trading experience. So like if I was like an institutional trader, if I was like like if I wanted to like work at like a big like traditional finance desk and I wanted to get into trading perps on chain, like it just feels like like the latency, like the execution, like the user interface, and then like if they build a product like that, which I think that's their net goal, like the open interest will improve, the liquidity will improve, like you'll be able to do more and stuff like that. So I think they're on the right track. And Hyperliquid to me feels like a little bit stagnant right now. I mean, like the token price has not been performing very well. Like Hype EVM has basically done nothing. Like I think Hyperliquid would be literally in the exact same spot it is right now if it just like stayed on not on Arbitrum, but like if it just used Arbitrum as a bridge and didn't launch their own EVM.
Or if they had just used layer 0 instead of all the complicated stuff.
Yeah, and then like the other thing is just like on 1010, if you look what happened, like there's huge controversy. I mean, like my opinion is going to vary from other people's opinion on like how auto deleveraging should work, but I feel like this will open up a whole can of worms, which I don't really feel like discussing. But I feel like Hyperliquid could have handled their auto deleveraging system better, been more transparent, and it's extremely bad. Like for example, if you're just running like delta neutral strategies on like various exchanges, so basically you're putting in like a ton of volume, a ton of open interest with on paper very little risk because you're delta neutral. You're just like farming the basis or arbing the basis. You really can't be auto deleveraged because like if you get auto deleveraged in like a certain spot, it means instead of being market neutral, you're massively long or massively short something. And the only times auto deleveraging happens is when there's like volatility in the market or there's like liquidations that can't be filled but by the other side. So like the exchange protects itself from bad debt. So like in the worst possible times, if you're auto deleveraged, it can like blow up your entire book. Like people running these strategies aren't making huge profit. They're basically doing a ton of volume and making a small amount of profit, but it scales to a point. And then there's like, in theory, very little risk because of like you're not taking any directional risks. And then on the one day that you don't want to take directional risks, you're taking a ton of directional risks because like you're suddenly long when like the market is dumping. And then if people see that and like don't understand like how this system works or like how or if they get blown out that day, it makes it very difficult for them to like return and do volume on that exchange if you're that type of trader.
Yeah. But I predict that Coinbase. Okay, if they've already done this, then I cancel it. Coinbase launched a prediction market, which face plants.
Okay.
So it fails to become popular, just like everything else they launch.
So I had I took the other side of the perp dex trade. There was a lot of reasoning going on there, so it's making me question it. But I still think Hyperliquid will win the perp dex wars, and by that I mean they'll have dominant market share by end of year.
What would you say
Reasoning,
dominant is? Like what
Yeah.
percentages?
I would say in terms of volume on the perp dex, I'd say if you just purely base it on volume.
You mean like they would have the most volume by the end of the year?
Yeah,
Or they would have like
I think. Let me see what metrics
The
we
most
have
daily,
already.
right?
Yeah, I would say daily. Purely because I just think there's more that they're gonna that can be done. I agree with you. I don't think very much innovations happen there this year, but my thinking is maybe they've just been cooking some stuff up and it's not yet launched. Like even when people were talking about, okay, we're gonna do Hyperliquid are gonna do season 2 or whatever, and there was all this like reading into the website and inspecting different elements.
Yeah.
Nothing happened, but maybe there is something being cooked up there, and we've just not seen it yet. That's my reasoning.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, I mean, it sounds like I'm like always bearish Hyperliquid, but like, it is. I mean, it's had its run up. Like, its market cap is insane for what it is right now. Like, there's no other perp dex that even comes close to like its market cap. So like, I feel like just the upside is we're talking about like if we're talking about token growth, like the upside is it needs to crack into like the top 10, top 5 of like assets. So we're getting close to stuff like Ethereum and Solana and like BNB and stuff like that. If we're talking in that range, like it just seems like to me that. And like if you look at like the on-chain metrics now, shout out by the way, shout out to MLM. I actually met him in Singapore. He's a super cool guy, but he runs like a great like on-chain analytics Twitter account, but it just tracks like a bunch of movements as to like what people are doing. He was actually the one behind like figuring out that Ladder was making sort of these backdoor market making deals for their points. And people were funding that, but then like I noticed recently, like on his feed, like a lot of like the big a lot of the big like Hyperliquid stakers have been unstaking and selling quite a bit. So yeah, I don't know, like it had its run up and then like the price has drastically underperformed the rest of the market since then. There was a pretty popular trade that like people were thinking that like, okay, if Lighter launches and like the people were only on Lighter in order to farm points on Lighter, we would see like a drastic like TVL drop, like a drastic open interest drop on Lighter, and then that would just be like a bull signal for hype. So there's like a pretty popular trade where like people were basically shorting Lighter in order to long hype, thinking that like, okay, well, once all the like smoke and mirrors from like the points, and then like like the volume from points farming is done, people would return to Hyperliquid because that's like the one true place to trade, and everything else is just we're farming perplexes for an airdrop and doing volume there instead of just doing volume in Hyperliquid. But I don't think Ladder's fallen off that much. Like it's just stuff like variationals recently has been doing quite well. Like I don't know, like to me, there's like a lot more competition than there was a year ago by quite a bit. Like even if Hyperliquid's like the best place to trade, like the difference between Hyperliquid and like the 5th best perp exchange is way smaller than it was a year ago. And it doesn't seem like I just don't see a world where like in 2026 like Hyperliquid does like a 180 and just like like creates a better product that blows all these competitors out of the water. I think it's just going to be like the trading experience, like the user interface, the liquidity, maybe not, but like everything else will be very similar, or like at least at the top will be very similar from shop to shop.
We will see. We will see. JMO, what's your next prediction?
Um, I guess we can do something about prediction markets. I think that Kalshi and Polymarket to maybe Polymarket to like a lesser extent will fall off like quite a bit. Maybe like have like quite a bit of legal issues. Um, basically, like if you look at the volumes, like a lot of the volumes are like through botting or through like basically people using it as like a vig free or low spread sports book. And then like I feel like the issue is they're like if for example or for example, like I'm pretty sure like the way Kalshi works is they have like internal market makers, which are essentially bookies. So they offer something. I forgot the name. You know what a parlay is, right? Like in sports betting.
Yeah.
So like a
With
parlay.
multiples.
Yeah, exactly. So like a parlay is like you make two or more bets, and if they all hit, you get a multiplier. Like Kalshi is offering parlays on their prediction markets. They have a separate name for them, but like
Who pays
you
for
can't.
that?
Yeah, exactly. Like a single prediction market makes sense because like if you have like an open platform that people can counter trade that, but like you can't really offer parlays unless you have like a counterparty taking that action. So I feel like they're moving more and more towards like the
What's it called?
we're like a
DraftKings?
what?
Is that the beyond DraftKings?
Wait, what about DraftKings?
Is that the big sports book?
Probably. I don't know.
Okay.
Th-
No, I
They're
was just
they're
wondering
pretty
if they
good.
were going to start competing with those. Yeah.
I mean, they are right now. That's where they're getting like a lot, most of their volume. I think. Like, I don't think people
Mm,
are actually trading. Like, if you look at the liquidity of like post election, if
mhm.
you look at the liquidity of like the geopolitical events and just like the random markets, they're like a lot smaller than like just the random sporting events. And then like the way they get by like the regulations is that they're a prediction market and not sports betting, which like a sports bet is a prediction on like the result of a sports bet, right? Like, so I don't know, like to me, it's like literally the same thing. And like, I think like the SUNY, like the New York Fed or is already suing Kalshi about this. Like they're advertising like to kids as like a place where they can predict on sports, aka bet on sports. Um,
Mm.
and then
Do
other than that, like I don't know, like these things like seem like way overvalued for like the valuations that they got. Like they're not really generating fees, right? Like they're basically the selling point of them. Like the reason people are betting sports there is because they're getting better lines. But the reason they're getting better lines is like sports books are charging like basically 10 cent lines. So like you bet 110 to win 100 like on both sides, whereas they're offering like much tighter spread, so it makes sense. It's like essentially a race to the bottom as to see who can offer like the best lines. And then like the way they get by it is, well, like it's good for them because if people want to bet there, it generates volume, and then they can sell their company or sell shares of their company at like a higher valuation. But eventually, like I don't know, like people will start to realize that there's nothing like unique or proprietary, that they're just building like the like volume open interest user bases and stuff like that. And in the end of the day, it doesn't like I don't think they're worth like billions and billions of dollars. Like I don't know. To me, it seems like the technology isn't really there. Like they're not doing anything like extraordinary on like the technology side that people can't replicate. Well, what they can't replicate is like the initial user base, and then like the name recognition. Like if I want to bet on something, I go to Polymarket to see if it's there. I don't go to some other exchange. But that's all they're banking on. And then if you look at like the history of crypto, like we could say the same thing about like BitMEX in like 2017, right? Like if I wanted to trade, like if I wanted to long Bitcoin, I would 100x leverage long like a DGen on BitMEX. And then like at the time, I was thinking like BitMEX is going to be like the market leader forever, and then and now it's like virtually non-existent. And like, I mean, the same thing with like Binance today. Like, if you told me Binance wasn't the biggest exchange in the world like 10 years from now, like I'd believe that 100%.
Of course.
Have you used Kalshi, by the way, just out of interest, JMO?
No, I'm heavily against the ethics of Kalshi. I like Polymarket, but the owners of Kalshi do some like super questionable stuff.
Okay. Hyperliquid or another app chain launches a prediction market, which grows to 50% of the volume of Polymarket. And if there's a new token involved, it becomes a top 20 coin.
Interesting. Okay. For me, I've got Solana will gain on Ethereum. And the way I'm measuring that is, so currently it has 20, the market cap of the token is currently 20%. Solana is currently 20% or thereabouts of Ethereum. I think we'll get up to 50% by end of year. And I'm not saying that both will go up, but I think we'll be meeting somewhere in the middle. And main reason for that is, I think, like, community wise, I think Solana's community is pretty solid. They actually try stuff, so I'm pretty bullish on them trying to stick to Solana only activity and pushing things forward there.
I think when these LLMs, like the AIs, are getting better at writing code, I think it's going to be very beneficial for Solana, because it's very difficult to write Solana smart contracts and to test them. It's just super, super difficult. They referred to it as eating glass. So I think it's going to be very beneficial for them, that you can get some help in writing the code and reviewing them.
I don't know if this is true, but do any like the major like vibe coding apps, can you do stuff on Solana with them?
I'm pretty sure
I haven't tried. It's basically with the vibe coding apps and its language models, the more niche the thing you program is, the more they struggle. Like, I'm sure you tried asking ChatGPT something about like a niche history or something, and it starts hallucinating. It's because I think it needs to have a lot of training data. So if you use a smaller language, like Rust, or even smaller, like Solana Rust, then I think it's going to struggle. But this stuff has improved a lot in the last 6 months. So maybe if you can find a vibe coding thing that uses like the Anthropic's Opus 4.5 model or something, maybe it would be worth trying. So it's definitely getting better.
All right, I have one prediction. I've been thinking about this. I think Kobe is not going to come back for up only. I think he's just going to return the money and just be like, yeah, I don't want to do this.
I love this prediction. That's really good.
He's like, no, I'm good. Like, I sold I sold my company in Coinbase for way, 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 way more than it's worth.
Wow.
So like,
what an
I don't
amazing
need this
sale.
money. Well, Ledger's not going to be too happy because no one wants to watch up only with Ledger only. So, but yeah, I feel like
it's going to be like 2 hours of watching him move dirt.
Yeah, and I love Ledger. Ledger, I love you if you're watching.
Yeah.
I love you, but like, I feel like up only with you alone is not worth the 25 million that Coinbase spent on it. I also think that maybe Kobe just like quits Coinbase. Like he's been basically like Coinbase overpaid Coinbase tech support guy or customer support guy on Twitter for like the past like 3 months, and then like at some point he's just got to be like, I have too much money. I don't need to do this.
He actually reached out. he reached out when I said my account had been blocked for years. He DM'd
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
asked me about my email, and they contacted me from Coinbase
Yeah, dude.
asking
Like,
how can I help you.
I'm not joking. Like, he legitimately has been doing Coinbase support work for like months
Uh-huh.
now, and
Yeah.
like it must be annoying because he has like what, like 700, 800,000 followers, and all of them probably have issues with Coinbase. So
Yeah.
they're just like imagine like his DM folder, like how many
Yeah. I can
how many
imagine.
messages he has to go through a day. Like, I feel like he's just gonna be burnt out. He doesn't really want to do any of
Mm.
this stuff.
And I think it's gonna be rough for him to watch that they focus on base, and the focus of base is just whatever scam will reach
Yeah,
the most
like
people.
like
So I think
he
it's gonna
hasn't
be
said
hard for him
anything
to
about
stand
that.
behind that.
He hasn't said anything about that, but like deep down, I think he knows that like the shit that's going on in base and like
Hmm.
Sora, that
Hmm.
stuff is, I don't know, like as scammy as possible. And I don't know if
And it's reaching the least educated users in crypto, which are Coinbase users, because
yeah
it's so easy to sign up to advertise to just anybody. So they're very, very poorly informed.
yeah. So it's just gonna be a chain where I don't know, like basically like 2024, like Solana when a pump fund was starting and people were just like launching shit and just like
Hmm.
rugging people left and right and like live streaming. But it's essentially what like the Sora app is, right? It's just like a pump fund with like a, like an IRL, like a media presence um
Hmm.
vector to it. And then like if you're bringing like real celebrities, where like what's one celebrity token, like creator token, that has ever done well like in the history of
Yeah.
these coins? Like there isn't a single one. Like I can't think of one
No.
on the top of my head. Like every single one has done poorly, and then now they're just like exposing it to like a new like audience. Like, oh, I'm gonna buy some Bitcoin on Coinbase. Oh, look at this base chain. Oh, look, my favorite singer is launching a coin here. Like I can buy this shit. Oh wait, it's down like 95%. Okay, I lost all my money.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what else is gonna happen there? Like I don't see
No.
any other scenario where like it goes well for them.
Mm.
I mean, in all fairness, it goes well for base. Like that they generate fees. Like I assume it's just like a money printing
At what
machine for
cost?
Coinbase. Yeah, but
At what reputational cost?
if he dies, he dies, I guess.
Yeah. What's next?
Andreas, you got any more? What else you got?
Yeah. I mean, I do believe that Justin Sun will be thriving and having a great year. But I already won this one, so I'm gonna say that Kraken IPOs and the shares top that shares top up
Oh, a little bit of wishful
50%.
thinking here.
And the shares top 50% percent up from the initial price.
Nice.
I'm just sending out good
I
vibrations.
wish
here.
all the people, I wish all of our friends at Kraken all the best as well. I got one actually. I got one final one. I think Zcash craters like a ton, and
Oh,
like the whole ZK narrative is gone about
oh yes.
like these privacy
Mhm.
based tokens that aren't like actually private.
Yeah.
Like I think a good
I,
litmus test is like, okay, so like how much illicit activity is done by Zcash? Like
yeah, totally.
can I buy heroin with Zcash? Probably not. Like so
No,
as far
no,
as I understand, like the way Zcash works is like they have like two transaction types, right? They have like a shielded transaction, and then like what the exchanges do. Like the reason why you can trade Zcash on Binance is because they have like a non-shielded transaction type, so you can like they have like a full portion of like the chain and everything that's like fully verifiable. Like they can have proof of reserve, stuff like that. It's not like you can see how much Zcash is on like these exchanges.
Mhm.
So compare that to something like Monero, which is clearly used for illicit activities, right? Like how many exchanges have like delisted versus listed Monero in the past few years? It's like basically no
Yeah.
major exchanges list Monero. a ton of them delisted it. Like it doesn't have the characteristics of like a privacy privacy first coin. They're just like playing on like this, like this ZK narrative, and like with I think it's true for like all the other, like EVM chains that like use ZK snarks or stuff like ZK sync and stuff like that. Like I feel like that just like all falls off. Like firstly, I think it's not that important to have like this like shielded transaction model. Like just because like I don't know, like I guess the whole privacy thing is, I mean, you can still be moderately private on like any other non ZK EVM chain. Just don't like use an ENS address with your name on it, and don't like post like the all the like look on chain and like all those like all those sites are Arkham stuff like that. Like I feel like a majority of the data they get is that like, oh, like Wintermute posted their address 4 years ago on their Twitter account, so like we just like put this in our database, and now we know like when Wintermute is moving funds back and forth. It's not like this like sophisticated thing where like you need this like a separate chain in order to be private to the public eye. So I don't know. It like Zcash seems like way overvalued now for the amount. Like first of all, there's nothing actually going on Zcash. It's basically just like the Bitcoin, but semi-private, but not really private. And it's valued at like I don't know, like billions and billions and billions.
Yeah.
I think it falls off.
I had it written in my notes. I'm not going to do this prediction, but it just said privacy coins used for crime. Americans upset. Price tags.
Yeah.
That's what always happens. It's going to happen again.
If
as
Coinbase,
soon as
Coinbase
it becomes
is listing
useful,
if
as
Coinbase
soon as it
is
becomes useful, then
Sorry, go ahead.
no. As soon as the coin is used for something useful, like buying heroin or something, then someone's going to be upset, and the government's going to say something, and the price is going to implode.
Yeah.
I had one final prediction actually. I think Hayden Davies will go to trial in the US for what went down. Maybe not even with Libra, but with some of the other shenanigans. There will be something because somehow nothing's happened with that, right? I think this year's the year.
Good prediction. Very good prediction.
I feel like that's fucking ridiculous. Like they're trying to throw like Roman Storm and stuff in jail for like coding Tornado Cash, and then like this guy's literally scamming left and right, like and
and telling you that in some weird roundabout way it maybe is ethical what he's been doing. But yeah,
it's just such like low level, like thoughtless crime. Like it's just like obvious crime that I don't know.
Wild. Right. Any other final ones you guys want to throw in the hat? I'm all out, but anything comes to mind?
Samurai guy gets out of prison.
That's a good one. What's the take on if anything SBF related this year? I wonder if any predictions that I don't see anything moving there. Will we hear from SBF this year after his Tucker Carlson interview in 2025, or will it be quiet?
He gave his friend his Twitter account, right? He's been. Hopefully not. Honestly, like some of the stuff he's been saying is, actually true. Like the FTX's state is like max extracting, but like he sort of glosses over the fact that like he committed like billions of dollars worth of financial crimes to get to that point. Like,
Mm.
and then he's like, oh, like we're fully solvent. And look at like my Anthropic and my Robinhood investments. I mean, like, yes, it's true, but then also like you stole billions of dollars to make those investments because you didn't have the money. So like, I don't.
And I
Just
don't
because like
understand
the
what the point
results.
is.
What would you say?
I don't understand what the point is because, when you're up for parole, aren't they going to ask if you feel any remorse? If you keep posting on Twitter that you did nothing wrong because Anthropic is doing well, like, isn't that going to look really bad? You're like,
Yeah.
actually, I was a genius, like I've been saying the whole time. It's just nobody was listening.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess the claim is that like they were never insolvent, which like the whole thing is so stupid. If they were never insolvent, then like this wouldn't have happened, right? Like they would have just
Mhm,
processed the withdrawals, and then there
mhm.
wouldn't be a bank run that they couldn't fulfill, and like people wouldn't have balances stuck on a FTX for years and years and years. Like it's like you can't say you're magically solvent when people are trying to withdraw money they couldn't. Like it's there's no if you were solvent at the time, then you would have been you would have processed withdrawals. There's no like there's no alternate reality.
Nope.
I think that wraps it up. I think we can call it there. I mean, I went through the topic, some of the topics I'd written down as well for 2025. We basically covered them all through the predictions. Um, yeah. Any final words before we go? Well, I guess okay. Let's leave it with this. Like, are you bullish or bearish on 2026, Andreas?
Well, I'm just thinking of the meme, we're already down so much, so we can only go down so much more.
We're not even
95%.
the thing is we're not even down that much. Like
No, but the sentiment is down.
yeah,
So
the sentiment is down.
so
But
the sentiment cannot get much lower than what it's been.
like,
Um,
what did BTC open at last year? Like around 100K, a little over 100K.
90 or whatever, I don't remember.
Let's
So
see.
so like we're in single digit
Yeah,
law
but
percentage loss
what's
on BTC for the year, and it feels like we're all broke,
yes,
right?
because there's a tremendous inflation of the dollar. They'll never admit to how much it is, but it's a lot. And that has shown itself in every risk asset mooning, every precious metal mooning. Like
Yeah,
literally everyone on
yeah,
earth has outperformed us. Even people who
yeah,
just own like jewelry. My
yeah.
grandmothers are outperforming us. We're basically the worst investors that I can think of for
Peter
2025.
Peter Schiff outperformed us last year.
Leadership, dude.
Oh my god,
So yes, you should
we
feel bad.
suck. I don't know why people watch this or even listen to this. You should go listen to a Peter Schiff podcast instead.
Yeah, I don't know why you're listening to this.
Or,
Listen to Peter.
JMO, bullish or bearish this year?
I'm like moderately bullish. Like
I'm bullish, by the way.
um yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like for the amount of hype the Trump administration got for going into this year, like the performance has been like quite low. So like we still
Mhm.
have quite a few more years of like Trump and their administration. And like despite the price action, like the general like policy goals still sort of remain the same. So like well, we don't have like Operation Choke Point again looming with Biden, where he's trying to cut off like fiat on ramps and off ramps and basically attempt to make it illegal to own crypto. So like I don't know, like the regulatory framework is there. Just like if the market reacts well, or there's a lot of factors going in besides regulatory framework. But I think this year has gone like, or the previous year has gone in like about in like 15 to 20 percentile range of like what the first year of like a new administration in the U.S. could have been. So uh, I think there's like decent amount of upside, but I'm not too enthusiastic about it. Like it just feels like now I don't know, crypto seems kind of dead. Like there aren't like many things you can do. Like people are just like launching perp dexes. We're trading perps. We're trading RWAs. There's like a million chains, but there's always more chains and more dexes and stuff like that. And it doesn't really add to the overall user experience in a way that like elevates crypto as a whole from like, you know, where it is today to like the future.
Wow, that was sad.
But I mean, honestly, like I'm enjoying like the new perp dexes. They're fun. They're love a nice perpetual.
Nice. Cool. Well, yeah. Hopefully we can do one of these again soon. I know, JMO, you're out of the wage cucking game. You were for a bit, but hopefully we can do these when you're next free.
Yeah, I'll send my new term, like contract negotiation terms, and then we'll go from there. We'll see if Andreas can meet the demands.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
I want at least I want at least like 3 or 4 T-shirts this year.
Oof.
I think I only got 2 last year.
Okay.
Oh. And worst case scenario, though, we'll you'll be forced to come on in a year's time.
I'll give a shout out to Bybit. They, I don't know if you can see this, but they sent me. Can you see that? Why is it so blurry? Hold on. Can I change my? Is there a way to
just hold it at the same distance as your face?
Can you see that?
Listen. What is the face?
Care, improve.
It's the Bybit 7th anniversary. It's a photo of Ben that they sent me this mug because I've been on Bybit since day one. Shout out to them that they overcame that was this year, right? They overcame that like $1 billion hack, and they're still doing good. So shout out to Ben and the team at Bybit for doing a great job for 7 years and giving me this mug. Care, listen, improve. That's what it says, and that's Ben.
Nice. Congrats on the mug.
Yeah, thank you. It's more swag than I got in 2025 than for doing this podcast. That's for sure. Andreas didn't send me any mugs.
We'll call it a day there then.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right.